champion, he beat this dosser.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
don't put yourself down, lad.
Nah, but it's in, you know what I mean? It's not exactly like, it's nothing extraordinary.
So
but
you yourself would admit, you think Logan Paul is going to be a harder task for him?
Oh, 100%. Like, I look at it like this. Like, if someone said, right, Joe, you've either got to fight or spar JJ or spar Logan, like, I would feel a lot more happier sparring JJ. I don't want to go near Logan, personally.
Is it better the devil you know, though, for you?
No, I'm saying before. I mean, I just see, the way I see Logan, the aggression, the power, he is a fighter through and through. Before this YouTube thing, like, that's what would intimidate me. Do you know?
I remember some of the first Logan videos I seen where he'd had confrontations with people in the street.
Yeah.
And guys getting out their car screaming in his face. His heart rate never seemed to raise a beat. Like, he just looked like, what? What are you going to, like...
He's a wrestler.
Yeah. And that, I think he was top 5 Ohio State Division 1 wrestler. And...
straight from the horse's mouth.
He comes grinding. Like, that wrestling background is day to day, going one-on-one. You just can't get that in a couple of months, that experience that he's going to have. And even though it's a different sport, that must help him in this situation.
And throughout the night, as you build up to the big fight, you're going to find out more and more and more about these guys. You sat down for hours with some of them. Only some of it went out, obviously, but you sat down for hours with Logan Paul, hours with JJ as well. And you know these guys behind the scenes anyway. But the top of the card tonight is going to be kicking off in just a couple of minutes. Jizzy Jeremy versus Halal Ham, or Call Me Ham.
Ham has... I've seen some of his pictures from his boxing days.
How's he looking?
This guy...
Don't move the Harry.
I want to say this in a nice way, because he'll watch this back. He was in a really good shape back in the day, and he took boxing quite seriously. Obviously, I think he's become a YouTuber. With YouTube, it comes a lifestyle that it's not always the best thing for your body.
There's a lot of sitting around editing. I don't understand how you look the way you do, Joe. It's incredible.
But, I mean, some people have got more time on their hands than others, Lawrence.
Obviously so.
But, to be fair, I think that experience with Ham has got to help him. And he said his best sporting memory here, he was made captain of his school cricket team, but he couldn't play cricket. He was just from... I can't read that.
You can't read the rest of that. That's unfortunate.
He makes a lot of jokes that we're not going to be able to read out, but there was a funny joke nonetheless.
He is a controversial comedian.
He basically said he was,
And Joe, how much do you think personality plays into the way that you box? Like, did you find your personality coming out in your boxing style?
No, and that is the issue, right? I think if these guys allow their big personalities to come through in their boxing, I think that is going to be helpful, because for me, I feel if anything, I limited myself to, no, I've got to be a boxer. I can't be like my outlandish sort of self. No, and I feel if anything, that held me back.
Right.
I wasn't as relaxed. I was like very tense. You know what I mean?
At the press conference, you came out very strict with yourself, and the Joe Weller that everyone knew and loved on your videos is that crazy guy, always saying what's on his mind, whereas you seem to go inward. You weren't listening to music when you went running. You were trying to keep it as like robotic as possible.
It was white noise.
No, but honestly, like retrospectively, I think all of that was a load of cobblers at the end of the day. Like, no, I don't think. I mean, it sounded cool. It sounded like, that sounds like what a boxer should do, but that didn't actually benefit me. Being all strict, being all formal, nah. I need to be myself. Whichever of these guys can be themselves and be comfortable are the ones that do better. And you know,
as we go down the card, we see guys who get more and more and more comfortable with who they are, basically, don't we? They're big personalities there. We've got some of the stats on the screen. You guys at home can see these. Thank you very much for tuning in, by the way. I know that you had to pay in order to get a YouTube stream. That was unusual for some people. It's fantastic that you joined us tonight.
Wow, with it, the weight difference.
Huge.
Is that a 50-pound weight? 50-pound weight difference.
But no difference in height.
So the reach, and so basically, in theory, Jersey Jeremy is going to have a bit of an advantage in terms of cardio here.
How much did...
He's carrying 50 pounds.
No, but genuinely, how much did the weight difference make a difference for you?
So for me, having to put on extra weight to sort of match up to JJ, I put on 5 kilos, don't know what that is in pounds, but look, it made me feel more sluggish. It made me feel slower. I didn't feel comfortable. 50 pounds? That's something else, mate. I mean, it will impact him, obviously.
But he's got the boxing advantage. So maybe it might even up a bit.
Maybe.
We're going to see.
I mean, it's also about the kind of weight you're carrying as well, isn't it? You know, because you're still very much an athlete, Joe. You still go, hits the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course,
It made a real difference for you to have that background already, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think more than anything, it's the conditioning. Like holding your arms up, your shoulders burn. They really do burn. And if you haven't been, I guess, conditioning yourself, and your body's not ready to be in there for 3 6-minute rounds. Wait, how many rounds are they actually doing for this fight?
I think it looks like they're doing 3 rounds of 2 minutes.
3 rounds of 2 minutes.
3 of 2, which is still, we'll say,
still
a huge
long
challenge
time.
early on. And you'll know this from training up, Joe. You didn't just go, I'm going to go 6 threes all the time.
No way.
You had to build yourself up to that.
100%.
Cardio doesn't instantly go as high as you want it to. We're not far away now from the ring walks. It's getting incredibly exciting within the arena. Not everyone's taken their seat yet. Not everyone's sort of down. Some people
know within a couple of hours this will be packed.
Yeah.
18,000 sellout.
And the atmosphere slowly builds, doesn't it? And this is the very beginning of that. It's looking exciting at this point. We're about to see the first fight, which is Drizzy Jeremy versus Halal Ham. This is going to be good.
Let's have it, boys. Yes.
This is looking good, huh? Wow. What a light show within the arena.
All of the lights.
Now, set to make his way to the ring, presenting Drizzy Jeremy.
Well, the first ring walk of the night.
He looks calm.
What were your thoughts when you were walking out, Joe?
Soaking up the atmosphere. He'll be taking all this in. He feels that.
When that bass hits,
Yeah,
you feel that in the
feel
arena.
that inside my core.
This is very good. So last time we were in the Copper Box, which was obviously in London. Now we're in Manchester, an arena that's twice the size.
Mate, this is a different... Oh, to feel different the last time I've done
What do you think of the shape we're seeing Ham go in then?
He looks good.
Sorry, Drizzy.
I mean, he looks good. He looks like, obviously, he's carrying power. Going against a much heavier guy, so he's going to need that.
Jeremy looks switched on there. He looks like he's taking this seriously.
He's looking very serious, isn't he? Yeah. That haircut is
I
the haircut
guarantee
of a
this is going to be interesting intro music.
And now, his opponent, please welcome to the ring, Halal Ham.
He said it, and here it is.
This kid's a character.
He's wearing a Versace train. He doesn't mess about.
Joe, you're a fan of WWE.
Yep.
This is as close as you're going to get the whole night to that.
He's got 63,000 subscribers on YouTube, this lad. And he's coming to make a name for himself.
And he's coming in at 5'7". I'll take a little pause there. Just a few fist drops to the guys walking down the side.
Getting a bit tired there.
Yeah. You've got to keep that energy when you're in the ring as well. It can't just be the ring walk that gasses you out,
You've
all right?
got to be zen, mate. You've got to be zen.
I mean, put it this way. To be a boxer,